So I'm Rick Rominsky. I'm in CSU Pueblo. We're reporting to you here from the Life Sciences building. We've got Jose Trujillo here. He's got a question for Math 221. And we just want to test out the video camera and see how it works. We're going to try and upload it to YouTube and check it out. So Jose, go. What's your question there?
Okay, this is a synthesis question. Solve for y in terms of x. Decide whether the resulting equation represents a function.
Okay. And what section are we in?
We are in section R.2.
R2. Okay. So this is the review section, and can you tell me the problem? I think there's a couple problems in that section, so what are they?
Number 74 is 2x plus y minus 16 equals 4 minus 3y plus 2x.
Okay, and what's the next problem?
75 is 2y squared plus 3x equals 4x plus 5.
Okay, so in each question we're going to just see if we can solve for y. So number 74, how would you solve for y? We got y on both sides. Any ideas what we would want to do?
You would want to take one of the y's to the other side.
Okay, well, we'll park that guy over. We'll get all the other junk on the other side. So if we bring this guy over, negative 3y, how are we going to bring it over here?
Add 3y.
And what's y plus 3y going to turn into?
4y.
So we're going to have a 4y. And then we're going to have to bring over this other junk. We're going to have to bring over the 16. We're going to have to bring over the 2x. So what are we going to get when we do that? We're going to 16 over. We're going to add the 16 over. So what are we going to get over here?
So it's going to be 20.
And then we're going to have the 2x. We'll subtract off. They'll actually
cancel out.
So can you solve that for y?
Yes.
That sounds pretty straightforward. And what do you get for y?
5.
Y is 5. Now is that a function? It doesn't even look like there are any x's in there to plug into. That's actually okay for a function. If I said x is 3, what's y? What would you tell me? 5. If I said x is 100, what would you tell me y is? 5. If I said x is negative 3.14159, what would you say? 5. This is a pretty boring function. It says that y is just 5. And the graph would be, boom, y equals 5. Does that look like the graph of a function?
Yes.
Once you've got a graph, the only thing you worry about is that vertical line test. Does this look like a function?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So 75, let's check out that, see if that's any different. In the case of 75, can we solve this for y? Well, I guess we want to bring the x over, and then we're almost done. So what would we get here? 2y squared equals what?
X plus 5.
Just x plus 5. It'd be nice to get rid of that 2.
Squared.
Let's just get rid of the 2 first. So we get y squared equals, just to get rid of the 2, divide by 2. So what we can get?
X plus 5 over 2.
Yeah. Now, when you take a square root, let me ask you this. If I said that, like, z squared was 16, what would you tell me z was? If I had z squared equals 16, what would z be?
Z would be
The
4.
number, it'd be 4, but here's the thing. It'd be plus or minus 4.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay, so that's the tricky part here. See, if you weren't thinking too hard, you'd say y is just the square root of x plus 5 over 2. But that's not quite right, because what do you have to put in front of that?
Plus or minus.
Plus or minus. And that's what makes it not be a function. Because if I plugged in, let's suppose I plugged in x equals, let me try and do something really fast, 13. What if I tried to do x equals 13? What's 13 plus 5?
18.
What's 18 divided by 2?
9.
What's the square root of 9?
3.
3. And if you hadn't noticed that, you would have said y equals 3. So I gave you an x and you gave me a y. You'd say that's a function. But no, if I give you x is 13, what do you really give me? You give me 3 and negative 3. You give me 2 answers. Is that okay for a function?
No.
If I give you a number, can you give me more than one number? No. So this guy's not a function. Y is not a function. It's almost a function, because it's only giving me 2 answers, but that's still not okay. Not a function of x. Up here was y a function. If I give you an x, can you tell me exactly one y?
Yes.
Yeah, so here y was a function. try to graph this guy, it would not pass the vertical line test. I'm going to try and draw a super quick sketch of that guy. The square root function looks like that. The x plus 5 looks like you shifted over. X plus 5 over 2 is going to do something like that. And it's going to just really roughly look like that. Now why would, yeah, and I'm sorry about that. I said something incorrect. So it's going to shift it over to left 5. And it's going to be something like this. And why would that not be the graph of the function?
Because it's going to cross over in two of the same points on the vertical line test.
Yeah, and that's what we saw. We plugged in 13 way over here. We got 2 different answers. Okay. You don't need the graph, though, to tell you it's not a function.